my heart, I'm convinced that love comes from only God. And let me show you something. So here are all the listings of what love is. And then obviously in First John, we know that love is God. But who is love? Love is God, right? So what? So in here it describes the characteristics of God, of who God is, literally. It doesn't show about the romantic love or anything else, although you can actually add that in there as well after you fall in love with God, with Christ. Yes, so let's go over it and see what love is. So love is patient, kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. Yeah, and that's what love is. And to be honest with you, Paul didn't write this for people that are romantically involved. Paul wrote this so that we can know what the love of God is, and that's what 13:4-7 is, and that's what it describes. And so the thing is about life is that you gotta really seriously think about that love starts with God. And so when you want to fall in love with someone, you have to fall in love with God first, the person of who God is, which is God Himself, which is Jesus Christ, right? So you gotta really fall in love with God first before you fall in love with another person. For example, I fell in love with God first, and then next thing you know, here comes this gentleman from Korea, and I fall in love with him. And because of the fact that I have already fallen in love with Christ, and I'm more in a process of falling in love with God even more because it never ends, right? To be convinced first of the love of God, enjoy the romantic pleasures later in the future. Right? My boyfriend, I know, I have a boyfriend. It is so fun to say. So, love is patient and kind. So it really, really actually describes what God is, and like a lot when we go to the long suffering, or through every circumstance, like NLT says, people might think, oh, but God doesn't suffer and stuff. God does suffer. He really suffers. When you sin, He suffers, and when His son, His only son, was being persecuted by our own sins at the cross, how do you think God reacted? He endured it. He went through that circumstance, and he had patience, and he was kind through that, and he wasn't jealous, proud, or boastful. Love, he had faith that it was gonna happen, obviously because he's God, but he still had to see his only begotten son being sacrificed for people that do not deserve the cross, literally. So just think about how God was thinking about when Jesus crucified himself for your behalf. Not that I'm just saying, all the sins that you have committed, they're at the cross. They're paid in there, and they're washed away by the blood of the Lamb. And so that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. That's exactly what I'm telling you guys. I'm not trying to make you feel bad or anything, but I'm just telling you what love is right here. And God, He has feelings too, What do you think we got our feelings for? We didn't get our feelings from the existence of existence. We got the feelings from the feelings of God, right? Because we come from the image of God. Mhm. Mhm. So he does have feelings too, you know. Yeah, he does. He feels happy. He feels sad sometimes, you know. So it's kind of interesting because when you have a relationship with God, and there's so many other people that are having the relationship with God at the same time that you're having the relationship with God, and God is watching you, and God is watching all of everybody else. It's this emotion thing that just goes on, and then you just next thing you know, you're just seeing God dancing the salsa. Okay. Because then he's feeling sad, then he's feeling happy, then he's feeling this, and he's feeling that, and everything else, and for his children, because sometimes we sin, and sometimes we don't, and sometimes we go happy, worship, everything, and so I don't know, you know, so I don't know how God is feeling at this minute. I bet with me, he's like, oh, well done, you faithful servant. Well done, you good and faithful servant, or something like that. Right? Yeah. So, that's what I wanted to explain to you guys. To be honest with you, um, you gotta really understand God first before you fall in love with another human being. So that's exactly what I wanted to explain to you guys today. So welcome. So that's my tiny summary of explaining a little bit about the love of God. I mean, there's so much broad things that I want to explain as well, but yeah. But the important thing is that throughout my life, God has been pursuing me like a lover does, and he pursues me. The song from Kim Walker, Kim Walker, Kim Walker, Kim Walker. She says, "God, you pursue me with power." Yeah, well, he did that literally back in the day. When I was first born. He saved me, and so I mean, we're not gonna go over that testimony stuff, but ever since day one, I've been pursued by God. Not that I'm showing off or anything, but ever since that, God's been showing up at my door. And next thing you know, right now, at 28 years of age, I am in love with another human being. Yay! Just like God wanted it to be. So, I seriously, once I kiss my boyfriend, it's gonna feel so right because God predestined that to happen for me and my boyfriend to be together, and like since it's under the authority of God, it's extra special little first kiss. It's gonna be really awesome. So I just can't wait. So anyway, because this is totally God, but that's how God rolls. So he even rolls in romance. Let me tell you.